Hey guys, we're going to look at some special, some of the homework that you're going to be assigned today out of 4.3. If we're looking at 4.3, notice we do 4.3 and 4.4 together. So we're looking at 3 through 31 odds out of this first part of the assignment. And so as we look at, here we go, we can kind of see everything here. So we look through this 3 through 31 odds. They're really all very, very similar. Not much is going to change from problem to problem. Let's take a look at, say, question number 9. Okay, we have b squared plus 3b minus 40. And what we want to do is we want to try to produce our perfect factors. Now in 4.3, everything is going to start with a 1b squared or a 1x squared. So that makes them pretty easy to start splitting b to b. Now if you're familiar with the diamond problems, again, you do not need to use a diamond problem to do this, but the way that it works is we take the last number, the negative 40, and we would put it on the bottom. And we take the middle number, 3b, and we just put the 3 on top. I don't even need the b. You can use it, but you don't need it. Technically, it'd be a, yeah. Anyway, so the thing that we're going to do here, okay, is we're going to think about how do we split this 40. Now notice it's negative. So one of them is going to be negative, and the other is going to be positive. So how do we split a negative 40 in terms of its dividing, so that we can get a positive 3 when we combine them together by addition? And so you can think about 1 and 40, 2 and 20. Now keep in mind, one of these has got to be positive and one of them's got to be negative. But when I add this would be 18, because I've got to think about one of them being negative. That's a difference of 18. 3 doesn't go in, 4 goes in 10 times. That's a difference of 6. We're getting a lot closer. And then if I go to 5, I get to 8. And this has a difference of 3. In order to have a positive 3, I need my bigger number to be positive, so I'll go plus 8 and minus 3. Negative 3, positive 8. Now, that's if you want to use the diamond problem to kind of organize your thoughts. That's what those are really for. They're not really about solving the problem. It's about organizing your thoughts and keeping everything in a good place. But this is the factored version of our basic factoring for number 9. Keeping in mind a couple things. If the last number is negative, that means I'm going to have different signs. Okay, I'm not going to have both pluses or both minuses. And with a problem like these early ones, that right there tells me that the bigger number is going to be positive. That won't always happen as we go on from there. We'll look at another one of those real quick. Let's look at question number, let's look at 29. Okay, we have c squared plus 5c plus 4 equals 0. As we go to factor this, we know it'll be a c and a c. How are we going to split the 4? 1 and 4 or 2 and 2? Which of those is going to add to make 5? Well, that would be the 1 and the 4. Now the 4 over here is positive, right? So I know that the signs have to match. In order to get a positive 5, I'm going to need a plus and a plus. Now normally if I'm just asking to factor, that's all I'm going to do. But because I also want to actually solve the equation, I need to know what values of c actually make this equation 0. In other words, on a graph, when does it cross the x-axis? When we have our rule, whenever something's grouped with a variable, we're going to switch the sign when we pull it out to get negative 1 and negative 4. Those would be our two answers to this quadratic equation. The last thing we have to talk about is just, really there's only one special pattern I really focus on. You'll do these perfect square trinomials. They're not too hard to come up with. The ones I really want to focus on are like b squared minus 81. This is called a difference of squares, and I promise you that if I can put a difference of squares on a test, if it's relevant to the test, I will put a difference of squares on a test. Because they're so simple, it's an easy way for me to know, do you know what's going on or not? So b and b, the last sign that you see in the problem is negative. That tells me I have to have a plus, I have to have a minus. If you're thinking about a diamond problem, oh, it's a really bad diamond. This would have a negative 81 on the bottom. And since there's no b term, there's a b squared but not a regular b, I would put 0 on top. So I'm thinking, what multiplies to make 81, but when I add it, or really when I subtract it because it's negative, I'm going to get 0. Turns out if I use a 9 and a negative 9, I get that 0. So I need a plus 9 and a minus 9. This is what I mean by it's a perfect, simple problem. Plus and minus the square root of 81. All right. Those are some examples of how this part of the assignment goes. Hopefully, if you have any questions on 4.4, you can get those answered as well. There will be a video for that. All right, good luck, and we'll see you in class.